I've been signing autographs and posing for pictures for the past 3 hours. So if you don't mind, I'll just take a little nap now while he entertains you.
Okay, thank you very much for being here in Monterrey, Mexico. How does it feel to be back in Mexico after 17 years?
I love Mexico, and I'm sorry I couldn't come here sooner. You people are the greatest. And I wish I spoke Spanish.
How did you create Spider-Man, which is your most famous character?
Well, I was trying to think of a new superhero, and I saw a fly crawling on the wall, and I thought, wow, wouldn't it be a great idea to have a superhero who could stick to walls like an insect? So I tried to think of a name. I thought Insect Man, that didn't sound dramatic. Fly Man, nah. Mosquito Man, nah. And then I got to Spider-Man. Spider-Man, that sounded good to me. So that's how it started.
Which is the best story you have ever written?
I have no idea. I like all the stories I've written because, in case I haven't told you this, I'm my biggest fan. Every time I write a story, I read it and I say, wow, this is wonderful. How did I ever write this? No, seriously though, it's very hard for me to have favorites because I like everything I do, or else I wouldn't do it.
Some people wonder what it felt to be with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
The first time I met Robert Downey Jr., he went like this. Because he said I had given him the greatest role of his life. He is a wonderful guy, and nobody could play Iron Man better than him.
Do you prefer to create male characters or female characters?
Right? Oh, I like to write male characters. I love to write female characters because I like to watch the way the artists draw them, and they always look so great. But it doesn't matter to me which I'm writing. When I'm writing something, I enjoy whatever I'm writing, whether it's about a male or a female or an alien from another planet, it doesn't matter.
What is the highest point of your career? Your high point of your career?
The highest point of my career is being here today with all of you. You have all been so great and so enthusiastic, and I've never had a better time, even though you wore me out completely. You've totally tired me out.
What is your favorite villain?
Oh, my favorite villain is Dr. Doom. I like the way he looks. I like the fact that he's the king of his own country. I don't think anybody in comics ever made a king of his own country the villain. So that was a first for me.
What is hard to write comics in the 60s?
In the 60s, no, it was no harder to write them then. In fact, it was probably easier to write comics in the 60s because everything hadn't already been written. If you try to write a comic today, almost any idea you come up with, you say, oh, I can't do that, somebody's already already done it. But in the 60s, there was no such thing as Thor or Iron Man or the Hulk. I could just do whatever I wanted, and it was wonderful.
Okay, this is a two-part question. First, do you like doing cameos in the films?
Well,
Cameos.
do I like doing cameos in the movie? I love it.
The second part is, which is your favorite cameo?
Yeah, I don't really have a favorite cameo because I love all of them. I'm the kind of guy who likes everything he does. But I did one in the Avengers, and that's coming out early next year. You must see the Avengers because I think it's my best cameo. I'm actually in 2 scenes, and I'll probably win an acting award.
Your favorite film, Marvel film?
Oh, all of them. I love the Marvel characters so much, and I love the Marvel films so much. When I go to see one, I'm floating on a cloud. I'm so happy. I love the way they shoot the scenes with the special effects. I love the actors they hire to play the role. I mean, nobody could be Thor better than the guy who's playing Thor. Nobody could be Iron Man better than the fellow we were just talking about. Everybody is so good at what they do. The scripts are good. These pictures on the screen are like eye-filling candy. I mean, those special effects are beautiful. I like them all.
Why do you think people...
Am I doing that?
Why do you think people go to see the film?
Well, I'm one of the people, and I love to see them because, well, you know what I think about superheroes? Everybody likes them, and I think this is the reason. When you were young, you probably read fairy tales, and you probably loved them when you were very young. They were stories about witches and monsters and dragons and magicians. But you get a little bit older and you become too old to read fairy tales. Then along come these superhero stories. And to me, they're like fairy tales for grown-ups because they have the same kind of bigger-than-life, mysterious, wonderful, scary things. And I forgot what the question was, but I think that was a great answer. Somebody from DC is doing that. Wanted to do something about bigotry. I wanted to show that it isn't right to hate people just because they're different than you are. And everybody hated the X-Men because they were different. But the X-Men were really good and wanted to help society. So that was the one book I wrote that I was trying to do a little preaching when I wrote it.
Excellent. And now, many people wonder, of all the countries you have gone through, which is your favorite country?
Of all the comic book countries? Of all the countries? Well, I've got to tell you, let me put it this way. No country is better than Mexico. And I don't know any city better than this one, in Monterrey. But I've been very lucky. I've traveled all over the world, and the people are nice. I don't understand why there are so many wars and so forth, because when you meet the people, they're all wonderful. I've been to China, I've been to Japan, I've been to Russia, I've been to Italy, all over. And the people are great. I don't know where the bad guys are hiding.
doing comic books?
Yeah, I always imagined when I was young I wanted to be an actor. And there was an actor, some of you may not remember him, named Errol Flynn. And he was a big hero, and I always wanted to be like him. But I never got to be an actor. All I ever got were cameos. But you can't win them all.
I know this question was asked yesterday in your meets. If you were ever to create a Mexican superhero, what would it be like?
Well, I am creating such a character. I haven't specifically labeled him as a Mexican. He's a Latin from South America, and I haven't pinpointed his country yet, although I will. And he won't be what you expect him to be. I can't tell you any more than that, but the comic book, well, it'll probably be a comic book first, and that'll come out in the middle of next year, and then there's going to be a big movie starring the first Latin superhero. And I'm very excited about it.
Which writers were the inspiration of your life?
Oh gosh, I read so many things when I was young. There was Jules Verne and Edgar Rice Burroughs and Charles Dickens and Mark Twain, and everything I read was an inspiration to me. I used to read books and say, these are wonderful. I wish I could write like that. So just about everything. I read every book I could lay my hands on.
Now, what do you think that there are toys and action figures model? What do you think about toys and action figures of you?
I can't believe it. Every time I turn around, there's a new action figure of me. I don't know why. I'm always asked to autograph little dolls. What do they call them? Google heads or Google heads? Dolls with the heads that move. And they have me in those things. And I don't know if people are willing to make them, and if people are willing to buy them, I guess that's very nice. But I don't get them free. If I want them, I have to buy them too. That isn't fair.
Some people wonder, have you enjoyed your trip to Mexico?
Have I enjoyed the trip to Mexico? I never had a better time. It's great. In fact, I had so much fun that I've hardly slept, I've hardly eaten. I've spent all my time with you people, and it's been great. I'll remember it the rest of my life.
What was the most difficult character you have created? The more difficult character you have created?
Well, none of them were really difficult. Once I got the idea for the character, it was easy to write them. I don't find it difficult.
No, they just want you to feel that you're on the clouds.
Hey, that's me!
That's so you.
Wow. Never know what's going on behind me.
Of all of the superheroes, which is the one that you would have made different?
Well, I guess of all the superheroes I've done, the Hulk must be the most different, because he's really a monster. And I thought it would be fun to make a hero out of a monster. I got the idea from the old Frankenstein movie. You remember the Frankenstein movie with Boris Karloff? Well, I always thought that the monster was the good guy. He originally didn't down the hills with their torches. And I said, I think it would be fun to write about a monster who's really good, but nobody believes it. They think he's a monster and they've got to catch him and kill him. And that's how I came up with the Hulk. But nobody could kill him.
Okay. I know many girls here in the audience and in many cities, they do love you. Do you have any problems at home with other girls loving you?
So do I have any
Problems at home with other girls loving you? Because you are something. Problems.
Do I have a problem with girls loving me?
Yes.
I think that's probably the best problem in the world. My only problem with it is I'm married, so all I can do is be happy about it, but that's all.
Do you think what's the best thing of the new movies? Costumes or special effects? Costumes. Yes.
Well, I think the special effects are the most important. The funny thing is, I don't know why the public likes costumes so much. When I first started, when I did the Fantastic Four, I said, I'm not going to give them costumes. And they didn't wear costumes in the first issue. Because I said, if I had a superpower, I wouldn't run right out and buy a costume. So I didn't give them costumes in the first issue. And then the fan mail came in. And almost all the letters said the same thing. We love the book, but we'll never buy another copy unless you give them costumes. So I had to give them something with the number 4 on it and make it look like costumes. I don't know why, but the readers of superhero stories like to have costumes on their characters.
About superpowers, which would be your superpower?
The superpower I would really want, if you think about it, the best superpower would be luck, good luck. Because if you have good luck, then you have everything. If you're taking a test in school, you'll pass, you'll get a good grade. If you ask a girl for a date, she'll go out with you because you're lucky. If you gamble, you'll win all the money. If you're fighting somebody, you'll beat them because you're lucky. If a villain takes a shot at you with a gun, he'll miss because you're lucky. I think luck is the best thing in the world. The only bad thing about it, I can't think of a way to make a lucky superhero because I can't think of what kind of costume a lucky guy would wear.
If you were going back in time, when would you want to go?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I never thought of that. No, I don't think I'd want to go back in time because I think the age we're living in now is the most exciting time of all. And I think the inventions, even something as simple as the little mini phones we carry, the iPhone. I mean, who could have dreamed that such a thing would exist years ago? I love today. I love seeing what's happening. To me, this is the best time of all. If I went back in time, I wouldn't have met all you people.
Okay, some people wonder.
This Spider-Man and the others, and they caught on. They became popular. So, but that was, when was that? In the early 1960s, I think. I don't remember what the question was.
You answered it finally, don't worry.
Yeah, I answered it, all right.
Okay, which character that you did not create would say, I would have think about it?
Oh, I wish I had created Superman, because that's the one that started it all. There's only one thing wrong with Superman. They made him too powerful, so you never worried about him. When you read the stories, you knew nothing could hurt him. That's why they had to invent the idea of Krypton, is that they had to find something that would hurt Superman. But the idea that he was a character who could run faster than anybody, and he was stronger than anybody, and he was super, that was an original idea, and they deserve a lot of credit for that. Oh, there's one funny thing, though. Have you ever noticed how Superman flies? He just goes like this, and off he goes. What is his means of propulsion? What is it that makes him fly? When they created the character, they never said he could fly. They said he could leap over tall buildings, because the planet he came from had a much lighter gravity. But then the writers later, after Siegel and Schuster weren't doing it anymore, they made Superman fly, and nobody ever said, that is so dumb. What is making him fly? He just goes like this, and off he goes. I tried going like, I didn't fly. That's what bothers me about Superman.
Okay. The best female character that you like?
My favorite was Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man. I liked it. If one of the writers hadn't killed her off when I wasn't looking, I would have had Spider-Man end up marrying her. But he can't marry her now.
Okay, well, that's all the time you have for us. They're ready for you. So
Hey.
we're gonna thank you.
Thanks for putting up with me. You are a wonderful man. Excelsior!
Hola. Un fuerte aplauso, por favor, chicos, ahora que lo tenemos aquí. Thank you so much, Stanley. We love you. We love you, Stan. Increíbles momentos, chicos. Bye, thank you, Stan. Un aplauso de verdad para todos los chicos de entretenimiento creativo que de verdad con este súper invitado sí nos hicieron la tarde. Un gran aplauso por favor para todo el equipo de trabajo de Creativo. Les agradecemos muchísimo por estar aquí con nosotros. Y bueno, en unos breves instantes ya estamos preparando nuestra siguiente actividad, que son las chicas Sexy Velvet Room. Así que si quieren, permanezcan